I'm Samantha from Clawfoot Farm, and today I'm out of tea. Well, I am out of tea, so we're going to make some more. The goals on our farm here is to grow more of what we eat, and actually our ultimate goal is to grow most of what we eat and drink here on the farm. And one of those things that we are moving towards is growing our own herbs so that we can have our own tea. Eventually, hopefully, we will want to move from drinking coffee at all, because we cannot grow coffee here or anywhere close to here in the Pacific Northwest. But we can grow lots of different herbs to put in our tea. So this is the tea that these are all herbs that we have grown here on our homestead, and I'd like to show you what I'm putting in my tea and why we're putting this in. So the tea that I'm doing right now is a spring blend tea. So my thoughts are on spring allergies. I don't want to have to take over-the-counter allergy medicine when I actually can ward it off with my tea. And it has worked for the last couple years. So far, so good. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. I also think of helping to boost our immune system. This is when we kind of have a little resurgence of a flu and cold season in our very early spring. And this just helps us kind of keep our immune systems up. And that's what I'm thinking of for our spring blend. So this, what I'm putting in first, is lemon balm. Lemon balm is actually, it helps your digestion. And lemon balm also helps calm. It's a calming herb. If I had chamomile, I would add chamomile to our herb blend, but I don't have any more chamomile. I've used that all up. And I'm not really measuring what goes into here. I'm just a couple of scoops of lemon balm goes right into here. I'm going to also put in some calendula. This is all that I have left. Calendula is very good for your skin. It's also a good calming herb as well. And it really looks very pretty in your tea. So I'm going to put some of that in there. This is mullein. Mullein is basically a weed. You can get seeds for it and buy them and grow your own. We just happen to have some pop up in our garden, and we just kept them there. So mullein, it's a really pretty plant. It grows like 5-6 feet tall and has pretty yellow flowers all down a big central stalk. And you can harvest both the flowers and the leaves of mullein. And in here right now I have mostly flowers. I'm sorry, in here right now I have mostly leaves because we've used all of the flowers throughout the winter. Mullein is a very good herb for your lungs. So this is one that is good for coughs, for congestions, for colds, and also for allergies. If you get clogged up with allergies also, mullein is a very good herb. Let's see. And this, do I have this in there already? Anise? Nope. Okay, so the next herb I'm putting in here, we'll probably use all of this, the next herb is anise hyssop. And I'm just going to dump that in there. There we go. And that, again, is an herb that helps with your lungs and your congestion. Then I'm going to move on to, let's pick this one here. Okay, so this is an herb that I didn't know of till fairly recently, called white horehound. And it is also another herb that is good with good for your digestive system. And also it's really, really good with colds, with coughs, congestion. This works very well along with mullein for a really good cold and flu tea. It works to thin any like mucus or thin any congestion that you have in your airwaves or passages. This herb is also a perennial, so you don't have to plant it over and over again. And this year, it didn't even freeze back to the ground. So I could go harvest some more of that right now out of the garden. It is still growing. Now, what else do we have here? Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, so this is an herb that I use in the spring and summer, and it is raspberry leaf. And these are the leaves from our red raspberries that are out in the garden. Red raspberry leaf is very good for women's health. It is really good for it is full of magnesium and potassium, iron, vitamin, both of the vitamin B's, and it is really good to regulate, to help regulate hormones for women. So I'm putting this into my tea mix here. Just remember that if you are pregnant, that you want to make sure that this is appropriate for you. Raspberry leaf is very, very good for certain times of a pregnancy. So I'm going to add that right in there. And the last green thing we're going to add is nettle. So nettle is one of those herbs that I add in my spring and summer tea blends. And nettle also has a lot of vitamins in there, a lot of B vitamins, a lot of iron, a lot of minerals in your nettle. And it also really helps with anti-inflammatory. And this is what I attribute to my allergy medicine. Basically, this is what I use as allergy medicine, and that is a lot of green in this tea. And I do like a little bit of flavor that's not just green, although I do love green tea. So we're going to jump over here. This is the only thing, no, there's two things that I did not grow on our farm here. One is elderberries. We have just a little bit of elderberries left, so elderberries go in there. Elderberries are really yummy, and they also really help to boost your immune system. They work with your immune system if you are to get a cold or a flu. It will actually work with your immune system and help fight off a flu or a cold. It's just a must-have on a farm or a homestead is elderberries. Okay, so this next thing is pineapple. We did not grow pineapple here. However, pineapple, just dried pineapple in your tea is really, really wonderful. And pineapple also has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So this pineapple, I bought a whole pineapple, just a whole pineapple at the store, and sliced it and put it in the dehydrator and dried it. So I know that this pineapple has not been treated with any preservatives or sugar or ascorbic acid, anything else. All it is pineapple. And they're pretty crispy because I like them to be pretty crispy in my tea. And they really add a really sweet taste to your tea. So I'm going to break up these big pieces and put them in the tea. Okay, the last thing I'm going to put in our spring tea is dried raspberries. So these raspberries were grown here, and then I just used the dehydrator and dried them. Dried raspberries are really good. Again, they're anti-inflammatory and really helpful. They also taste really good in your tea. This tea is actually so tasty that you hardly even need a sweetener. If you do use a sweetener, I would recommend using honey in here, but I don't use a sweetener at all. All of that fruit, the elderberries, the raspberries, and the pineapple really sweeten up this tea a lot. So it's pretty much good to go. You just add some water and steep it. So that's my tea. I just mix it together in a bowl and then put it into a jar and use it from there. The only reason why I mix it up in the bowl is because it's a lot easier and I spill less. And then I just take my jar and a funnel and put it on in. Yeah, I am out of tea. So I'm actually going to make a cup of tea right now. Okay, so now that we have made our tea blend, we're actually going to make some tea. So I have my cup, and I usually make my tea with the loose leaf tea in two different ways. One is with a tea ball, which you can just open. You can put your tea leaves in there, close it, and just drop it right into your teacup, and then add your hot water that way. And the way that I'm going to do today is with this. This is just a little strainer that came with a teacup set that I have. It's been used a lot and it's a little crunkled up, but it just fits right inside my teacup. And then we're just going to add the tea blend that we just made. And this is probably 2 tablespoons of tea that is of herbs that are going into here, into our tea. And then I have some hot water, and I'm just going to pour that right over the tea into our cup. I'm going to let this steep for about 5 minutes and then pull this right out. And my tea is ready to go. So our tea has been steeping. And we're going to take a taste. Yep, it tastes pretty green, but it tastes lovely. It is a really well balanced blend of tea and very drinkable. So I'm just going to continue to drink my tea and dream of the garden. See you later.